Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing another Nutrisystem, what I eat in a day. Surprise, surprise, right? I hope you guys are doing well this morning. And I'm going to start my day off with some apple walnut oatmeal. More specifically, I'm going to be making some banana maple oatmeal. And as always, if you guys are interested in trying Nutrisystem for it yourself, there's going to be a 50% off below coupon link down below so you guys can go try that out. It'll be in the description and in the comments section. So let's go make this and I'll show you guys how to make this a little bit tastier. Come on, let's go. Alright, so we're starting off with breakfast. I'm going to give you the calorie count: 150 calories, 5 grams of total fat, 5 grams of fiber, and 5 grams of protein for this. And it does say you can add either half a cup of fat-free milk or water. Now I usually add water with my oatmeal. That's just how I like my oatmeal. But today I am using some almond milk, unsweetened almond milk. You can do fat-free if you want, but I don't. The only alternative I use is coconut milk. We're going to use some vanilla extract, a little bit of agave if you need some cinnamon, some pecans, and half of a banana. And then you're going to want some type of thing to saute these two in, so I'm going to use coconut oil. Now, just letting you guys who aren't familiar with coconut oil, a little bit goes a long way. It melts into almost like very watery consistency, so don't need a bunch. One thing I did forget to mention, because I said they were going to be mapley, so yeah, you can use maple syrup. I'm out of the maple syrup that's like the organic, the good maple syrup, you know. I have the Aunt Jemima maple syrup, which I don't really like to use. I like to use the real maple syrup usually when I have it, but agave can work. It just won't have the same exact flavor, but it'll still make things sweet. You want to heat the skillet, add this, wait for this to completely melt. And then once that starts bubbling, we're going to want to add this and then have our sliced bananas go in there also. We're going to mix them up and let them saute. And about 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla. The bananas and the pecans look about done, and literally it took me an extra, I don't know, 2-3 minutes just to make it a little bit tastier, a little bit better. So I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. Alright, so this is what my breakfast looks like. Pretty good. Alright, so with adding something as simple as just some extra nuts like pecans into oatmeal, or just adding extra nuts into granola or something like that, it's going to help keep you full a lot longer than it normally would. Also, I mean, the bananas are just pretty great tasting in general. You could probably add berries if you don't like bananas, and they might give you more antioxidants. But then also adding something like cinnamon. Cinnamon helps with so many things. So it can help with hunger, suppression of hunger, but it also helps with inflammation. It tastes great. It's an aphrodisiac. There's so much that cinnamon can help with. So when you're making your foods, just try to remember to incorporate spices in things, because that's how things are going to end up tasting better. You're going to eat more vegetables. You're going to eat more of the better stuff if you know how to season it right, or at the very least cinnamon I feel like goes good on so much, so just don't forget about the cinnamon. So for lunch I'm going to have this yellow rice and black beans, and it's 190 calories, 3.5 grams of fat, 4 grams of fiber, and 10 grams of protein. And I'm gonna have this with some chopped up tomato. I'm gonna have a little bit of avocado in there. I'm gonna dice a little bit of cucumber, and then I wanted to do it with a little bit of chives, or cut up, what are those called? Green onions, but I let them go bad in my fridge. So we're gonna skip that part. I've had one of these inside of these cups before. Okay, now that the rice is cooled down, it was a little bit watery, so then I had to top this to keep the steam in and let the rice cook, and then I had to untop it, and it was still quite watery. So then I had to let it cool down, and it was taking a while, so I just put it in the fridge just for a little bit, because I think I'd rather like it not cold, but at least room temperature to put on something like this. So I did find some cilantro. Okay, so this is what my bowl looks like. I think it looks pretty good. You can mix this up, obviously, like more salad style, so everything is all mixed up together. I kind of like to keep things separate and then mix it as I go, as I'm eating it. And then besides that, I'm probably just going to add a little bit of lime juice to this, just to make it a little bit, I don't know, more flavorful, especially for this part right here. You could probably add a little bit of salt or a little bit of pepper. And yeah, that's pretty much lunch. Alright, so this is what I'm going to be having for dinner. I almost said lunch. Hearty beef stew. It is quite small, so I'm going to be making this a bit bigger. Beef mixed with potatoes, carrots, and peas in thick broth. This is 150 calories, 5 grams of total fats, 14 grams of carbs. Yes, sorry. And then 13 grams of protein. Just wanted to give you guys all that info. I'm going to be using some beef broth, or you could do veggie broth or whatever it is that you would like, even water, I guess, like to just make a little bit more of this. And I'm going to be adding some of the cilantro from earlier today. And then to top it off, I'm probably going to add a little bit of Parmesan cheese on top. Alright, we're going to add just a little bit of the beef broth. Heat that up, and then we're going to add some of our extra veg in there. So I just chose broccoli and carrots because there's already, oops, dropped a little bit, because there's already a little bit of carrots inside of the soup. And this is just typically what a lot of people put inside of their beef stew, and then you could put extra potatoes, but then that might be a little bit too many carbs, for at least you're getting in your green veggies, but then you're also being a little bit more filled up too. And since these are non-starchy, you can put as much of this as you want. You could probably add some onion and garlic in here for flavor if you'd like. So now that this is done simmering and everything is a little bit tender, I'm going to add this. I just can't do it with one hand, but I'm going to add everything to here. If you don't want to do this, you can just pop this straight into the microwave. There's something like a piece of tin foil or something you have to take off here, and then you put this on and heat it up. But it's just going to be easier if I add this to my mix. So the difference I see of doing it this way is that you are adding ingredients. It's kind of like adding extra vegetables. It's not going to hurt you. So instead of making your own beef stew, which you could totally do that and kind of like calculate your calories out and everything like that. But if you're not sure how to do that yet and you're doing Nutrisystem and you just want to add on extra and you feel like their portions aren't enough, that way you know that you're not accidentally eating. I love potatoes, so when I make beef stew, it's like I probably overly add potatoes, which isn't the best. That way you're not eating too many carbs or too much of one thing or the other. You know that you're getting the exact right portion that you need for the week, but you're still making it so it's more filling and it's just going to last you throughout the rest of the night, things like that. It almost reminds me of what I feel like I heard about like either poor man soup or like cabbage soup and stuff like that. When another person was coming to dinner, they just like added another cup of water or something like that and mixed it in. And besides the fact that, you know, it saves money because if you're broke, but yeah, in this case, it's kind of, I mean, it's a money saver, but then you're also, if you're just adding water, it's not like you're adding a bunch of calories. Beef broth does, and you just have to make sure that it's something that has low sodium inside of it. But if you're adding veggies, if you're adding cabbage to it, if you're adding carrots and you're adding peas or, I don't know, anything that's non-starch, then you're really not going to have to worry about counting all of those calories, because especially on Nutrisystem, it is, you have to have at least 4 servings of vegetables, but then beyond that you can have more of that because those are technically like free foods, the way that a lot of other diet systems do it that way too, where they have specific free foods. They have the food that the kit comes with, and then they say like how much of this, how much of that is technically allowed for you to still feel like you are maintaining a weight or you are still lowering your weight. So yeah, just add whatever veggies, fill the pot up to your heart's galore, and bon appetit. So that's what it looks like. It's definitely not as thick as it would be if you would have just eaten it by itself, but this is going to be much more filling. And then probably add a couple of, like 1 or 2 tablespoons, I believe, of some type of cheese, just for a little bit of added flavor, and again, just a little bit more to keep you full. Alright guys, that was it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are interested in getting half off of Nutrisystem, the links are down below in the description and in the top of the comments. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Don't forget to subscribe down below for more videos. And I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.